Recording. All right, guys, I'm doing this kind of as a trial to see how Zoom works for my sourdough classes. So this is just for fun, but the recording is for that purpose. Anyhow, so I'm peeling my garlic. I started earlier because this is like the worst process ever. I hate peeling garlic, but I bought some pesticide, herbicide, chemical-free garlic at market this week from one of the vendors that's next to me. So I guess I'll just start. That way, if I post it ever, y'all have it. These are two of the main books that I use for as I'm studying herbs. I study through the Herbal Academy. I'm an expert by no means. Like I don't claim to be an expert at all. But I use the Herbal Academy a lot for resources. I use the Herbalist Path. I'm part of her Kids Safe Herb Club. So every month it's a new herb and you learn more about it. And then, so those are some resources you can use to learn more about herbs. Kind of share with you the different stuff that I do. If somebody jumps on, they can join in. I worked my oranges already. So my oranges and lemons, I put in a bowl of water, add baking soda and vinegar to get them cleaned up, and then I scrub them under running water. Kind of make sure there's no film or anything on them from being at the store. And so I'll just get started. I always start with my garlic in my jars. Don't do what I did. Don't cut yourself. No, I didn't cut. I just cut my fingernail. I hate this. So I kind of have them portioned out into 4 here. Probably wouldn't cut these up too much, except that I am I got they're really big cloves of garlic from this. I want to say it's like Wesh, Wesche. I don't know really how to say it. I got this from them. I got my onions from them for that. Because when I'm making my fire cider, I want to do my best to make sure it's as chemical free as possible, or what's the point of making fire cider? You don't want to keep putting more chemicals in your system. Now I will say, like, some of these things that I can't get at market, like my rosemary, my thyme, my oregano, I ran out of what I grow homegrown. I've used it all up, and my plants are done for the year, so I haven't been able to find any at market to buy and use, but I do my best to buy as much as I can from fellow vendors at market to support them and get cleaner products to have in my herbal remedies, my food that I cook, different things like that. I've gotten to where I pretty much buy all my produce at the farmer's market. And yeah, this might not be the prettiest garlic, but hey, I know it's clean. So, and so for those that don't know, I kind of can give you my notes that I've had over the years. Hey, Tasha. I don't know if you can hear me or see me. This is the first time I've done this, hosting my own Zoom thing. It's kind of a practice for my sourdough classes next month. I'm just cutting up my garlic and starting with that. I'm making a gallon of it. I did 2 quarts last year and we about ran out, so I'm making a gallon of it this year. I was just gonna kind of cover from my notes what the different things were good for. So I've got doing garlic. In my notes, I've got that you have to squirt it or cut it to release the medicine. It's antiviral, antibacterial. It's a circulatory stimulant. It's an antifungal, an immune booster. So that's all the garlic there. And then I always add the onion at the bottom too. I like to do pretty good amount of onion, but not too much. Otherwise the kids won't eat it. I just kind of cut it up like this. Doesn't have to be chopped really good much.
So you just have a big gallon jar then?
No, I've got a whole bunch of
two of
quart
those.
mason jars.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So the reason I do that in the quart jars is because I got these fermenter lids that only fit the quart jar. Well, I mean, if I had a wide mouth half gallon or gallon, that might work too. But I just do several of the little quart jars. I've actually got 5 out here because I'm making an extra one for my sister. So you can kind of, I guess my video doesn't let you see the table as well, but you can kind of see the garlic and the onion in there, so you can see how much I put in. And then I'm just cutting this up. It's got, so the onion, what I've got in my notes is that it's good for respiratory, antioxidants, antibacterial, and it says it contains sulfur, which is good for the immune system. Before you jumped on, Tasha, I was saying that I use these 2 books, Rosemary Gladstar's, this Herbal Remedies and Herbs and Old Time Remedies, and then I use the Herbal Academy a lot for. I've taken a couple of their classes. I use the Herbalist Path. She's got a podcast, and she's got a Kids Safe Herb Club. That every month she has a new herb that she gives you really detailed notes on and recipes you can use with it. So I use a lot of those things. She has some other classes too that get more into the clinical herb side of it. But I mean, I'm no expert by any means, but I'm also not one that gets into the science of how it works. So I'm okay with not measuring and just eyeballing. You know what I mean? So I don't worry about the apothecary class that she has or things like that. Maybe down the road when the kids are out of the house and I have more time. But for now, I just kind of eyeball things when I do my herbal remedies. So try to get this all cut up here.
Yeah, because the last couple of years we've done the garlic and the honey, and had that for wintertime for sickness. But that garlic is strong. Having to chew that up and eat it.
I don't eat that garlic and the honey. What I do is I use the honey as like a cough syrup. And
yeah.
Last year, I also do a lemon honey for the kids. Last year, Lee was like, "You don't even have to take this stuff. You can just smell it and you feel better." So he would just open the garlic honey jar and take a whiff of it anytime he felt sick, and then he would instantly feel better. So, but I try I add cranberries and cinnamon, and I do lemon and orange in my fire cider, trying to get it a little bit sweeter for the kids. They say you can add a astragalus or something like that, but I have never bought any, so I don't know off the top of my head how well it works. I should probably actually do my other big stuff in my jars before I get the smaller stuff. But I don't know how you clean your fruit, but what I do is I take a bowl of water and add baking soda and vinegar to get it kind of to loosen everything up.
Yeah.
And then I scrub it under running water.
Yeah, I've been doing that with my berries. I got a salad spinner, and so I'll soak my berries in the vinegar and baking soda, and then I'll spin them dry in the salad spinner.
That's a good idea. I don't have one of those, so I just pat them dry. That might be a worthy investment, though.
I know. Well, I found it on clearance at Marshall's and Emporia, so I was like, "Ooh, I'm gonna get that." Usually, if I find little gadgets like that on clearance, I'm like, "Yeah, let's get that."
Yeah, that's the best way to find them.
Yeah.
So, and then get these all in here. Sorry guys, I'm not very fast here. So typically I don't peel my fruit to put it in here. However, for this round of my lemons, I saved my lemons from that I zested for lemon blueberry sourdough at market this week, and just use them for this because I already have 3/4 of lemon honey set aside for this winter. So I was like, oh, I'll just save these for this. So they look a little funny, but they'll still have the healthy properties in them. You can eat black or orange, Lacey. So I kind of got sidetracked and forgot to say anything about the orange and the lemon. I don't know that I have lemon on my list. Oh, there it is. So lemon has vitamin C. It adds flavor. Is good for sore throats. Is cooling. It's anti-inflammatory and aids digestion. And you can use either one. You don't have to use like both of them like I do. I just do it to add a little bit more flavor for the kids. The orange adds vitamin C. It's an antioxidant, an antiviral, and has flavonoids. It's my notes say for kids, go heavy on the orange and light on the spicy stuff. Last year I made one for the kids that didn't have any cayenne or any of that stuff in it. It just had the basic stuff. So then I've got cinnamon sticks and somewhere in my notes, cinnamon is, I break them up a little bit so that they fit in the jars better. And I usually do 2 to 3 sticks a piece, depending on which one is for the kids. But it's warming, it's a digestive aid, circulatory stimulant. It can clear stagnant flow and energy. You can dominate your fire cider with cinnamon and orange, and then only add a little bit of the ones that are going to have heat, like the garlic and the onion, and it'll still have good immune boosting properties, but it won't be as stout. I'm going to keep these 2 over here for kids ones. So I'm going to add extra cinnamon to them. And then, so something new that I'm trying this year, if I can not make a mess with them, is that I read that you can add elderberries to your fire cider for immune boosting purposes, which I always make an elderberry syrup, but I thought I would give this a shot and see what happens, see what it does to the flavor, if the kids like it better. I know I can get my kids to take elderberry syrup over fire cider most days. So this one I don't have in my fire cider notes, so I don't know much other than to tell you that I know it boosts your immune system because I take it all winter long for that purpose. I'm just going to kind of use up all these elderberries that I cooked. So I've read different things. I've read that they're poisonous until you cook them. So I always cook mine. But then I was reading a deal this year that says that certain varieties are not poisonous. It's only the seed. I don't know. I'm not going to take the chance, so I cooked mine ahead of time. And then, try not to make a huge mess here. I've got rose hips, which I don't know. These are not in my notes either, but it's something that I read helped with flavor. Oh, there it is in my notes. They're antioxidant, high in vitamins C and A. They have flavonoids and they're immune boosting. So I just put a handful in. Try and move these over here where y'all can see a little bit better. This one's a little lower filled because I gotta add garlic to it still. I ran out of what I had already prepped. And I ran out all my home raised herbs this last couple weeks. So I've got thyme. Thyme is great for coughs, congestion, sore throats. It's a warming. It's a circulatory stimulant. It's antibacterial, antiviral, and good for tummy upset or bloating. So I just always add a little bit in here. Sometimes, like I do a thyme tea. If my stomach doesn't feel that great, add some peppermint in. Just whatever at the time feels right, I mix and make based on my notes. I got rosemary, which improves memory. Is a strong antioxidant, is warming, is antibacterial. It can help your body release heat through sweat, and it's good for hair growth. My notes actually say you can also make an apple cider vinegar and rosemary hair rinse. I know I made a rosemary and coconut oil kind of mask for my daughter so that she could grow her hair faster. She asked me to make more of that. I got to get that done, but that's on my to-do list also. And then oregano has lots of vitamins, including A and B6, vitamin C, E, and K. It's good for tummy upset, has antioxidants, immune support, and it becomes antimicrobial because it has antifungal, antibacterial, antiviral properties. Oh, there's Lacey. So I always add some of that in. Oh, I just gotta squish it down in the cracks, sweetheart. Ooh, I lost track of, I think it was these two that had extra cinnamon. I think. That Lacey. Make it less hot. It makes it better tasting for you guys. So then, yeah, so cayenne. And if you got questions, Tasha, or want to add anything, feel free to holler in. I don't care. Cayenne is good for circulatory stimulant, anti-inflammatory, immune stimulant, and is an expectorant. So I just add a couple pieces of this dried cayenne from my garden last year. My peppers are setting on real late, but I kind of got them in the ground late, so we're gonna leave it out of the two kids ones. What? Oh, boo-hoo. So black pepper. Lacey. I don't care. Sorry guys, I was trying to find in my notes. My black pepper is a warming digestive, increases nutrient absorption, is antimicrobial, and is a good expectorant. So I'm just adding a little bit here. So I do cayenne because I'm allergic to jalapenos, but you can also add jalapenos. I did not take notes on jalapenos since I'm allergic to them. I also add ginger and to it. I don't have any whole pieces of ginger root, but I use powdered ginger. Just adds to the flavor. It also is an immune and circulatory stimulant, so it just helps boost the powers of the fire cider a little bit. Helps with the flavor paired with the cinnamon, and then I'll add a couple pieces of leaves of echinacea for boosting the immune system, the lungs, all that good stuff. Let me see if I have my notes on echinacea. Pepper's getting to me. It's an immune booster, an immune stimulant. It's a lymph mover. It's antibacterial and anti-inflammatory. You can use the root or you can use the leaf like this. I just planted mine this year for the first year, so I only have leaves. Next year I can harvest roots. Surprisingly, my herbs have done pretty well in pots. I usually kill anything I put in planting pots, but they've done pretty well the last couple of years in pots. That might be because my kids remember to help water them more than I do. If it's in the ground, I see it out there in the garden and I can water it. But if it's in a pot, I tend to forget about it. So then after that, you just want to top everything off with apple cider vinegar and let it get down in the cracks and crevices. You want to leave some head space because if you're using a metal ring, when I do this one, I'll show you. You want to put a barrier between your fire cider and your metal ring because the vinegar will react with it. So you want to make sure everything's down under there. You want to I use parchment paper. And I tend to pick my rings that have been around the block a few times and getting older so that if they do get messed up, I don't feel so bad. And you can see kind of over the next couple days, if this all absorbs a lot of that vinegar, I'll top it off a little bit more with some vinegar to keep it all covered. And then I just let it sit in my pantry in the dark for 4 to 6 weeks, sometimes longer if I forget about it, strain it. And then a lot of times I'll mix 50-50 with that and raw honey. The kids want, a lot of times I'll take lemon honey and mix 50-50 with lemon honey. It just gives it a little sweeter taste, more flavor. To make it taste a little bit better and it makes them want to take it. Then the reason I use these wide mouth ones is because it's what I have for my fermenting lids. And even though this isn't really fermenting, it works. I don't have to worry about metal eating up against the vinegar and reacting with it. So I just slide these lids on and let them sit. It's kind of, you can see how the elderberries are changing the color a little bit, which is kind of cool. We'll just see how it goes. If you have any questions, let me know. There's no right or wrong way to do fire cider, really. You add what your family's gonna like in it. They've all got good properties. Sometimes I'll add cranberries to the kids for flavor, but since I did elderberries this time, I probably won't. If you have any questions, give me a holler. Was there anything, Tasha, that I said that you had questions about?
I don't think so. I'm just throwing mine together real quick while you were doing yours. I was like, oh, she's adding all kinds of different stuff. So I was like, I'll just start adding stuff too.
Yeah, I just kind of throw whatever I've got in my kitchen in it. And go from there.
I know, that's why I'm going through my spice drawer. I'm like, oh, I have that, and I have some of that.
The
And I
first
think I
year,
have some frozen cranberries, so I might just throw those in there.
yeah. If you need some elderberries, I may not have that full 12 ounces for that one recipe I posted, but I
Mhm.
have enough that you could throw them in part of it, you know.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I got a big I don't even know, is this a big, I think it's a big gallon jar I found, so I got it all washed up, so I'm just gonna throw everything in there and cover with what I've got and see what happens.
that's a good idea. Oh, I guess did I say cover it with apple cider vinegar? My brain I get
Yes.
sidetracked and don't talk about what I'm doing.
Yes. Can I put
So
like because I don't think I have a lid for this. Can I do like cheesecloth or something?
I would get like plastic wrap and put it over the top because you don't want it open to air.
Okay, and then just put a rubber band over it.
Yeah, I'm not entirely certain why it's not open to air, but
Okay.
I think it has something to do with the vinegar because like my ferments I put open to air a lot of times.
Mm-hmm.
For like my sourdough, my water keeper, things like that are open to air. But then I know other ones like sauerkraut and stuff can't be open to air. And herbs usually, like my tinctures and stuff that I make, are usually um, closed tight.
Okay. Yeah, I'll put some parchment paper over it and put a rubber band over it then.
So
Okay, now I just have to find my rosemary. What about bay leaves?
that might be good. I know that they have a lot of properties to them. I don't know what they are. I haven't used it, but I know it's in my book.
Yeah, I've made bay leaf tea before for like it's supposed to help with sleeping and stuff at night and calmness.
Um, I guess it's not in this book. I have it in one of my books. Yeah, I'm about it. So I gotta go get this. Okay. So if you don't have any questions, Todd, come in, jump off here so I can see my sister for a minute before she leaves.
All right, thanks for doing this.
Yeah, no problem. If
All
you want
right.
to get together and do anything else, holler on it. I get tired of doing everything on my own sometimes.
Yeah. All right, I will.
All right. Have a good one.
All right. You too. Bye.